Hello everyone, welcome to Sports Taza. With me today I have Adhiraj and Vishesh. It's a very special day tomorrow. It's going to be Virat Kohli's 100th test. And finally, crowds are allowed. If there's one man currently in the Indian team who loves crowds, it's going to be Virat Kohli. It would have been a huge shame had there been no crowd for this 100th test match. The Punjab Cricket Association and the BCCI getting this at the very last moment. I'll get into the details later, but Adhiraj, how do you feel about Virat Kohli's 100 test first? We'll come to that.
Uh, I think a big occasion, not just for the fans. I mean, we've seen him grow and play across formats. He's been the Indian captain, and then we've seen. I mean, he's had some hard times, but for himself as a cricketer, I think it's a big achievement to play, represent your country for such a long period of time as he has. So I think I'm very happy. Obviously, looking forward to this game and the kind of build up that has been to Kohli, and that he's been in this. I mean, maybe a rough form, and just waiting for him to kind of come back, get back into that mode where he just keeps getting those runs consistently, and being the player that he is. Yeah, super happy about it. Vishesh, what do you think? How happy are you? How excited are you for that next innings from him?
Yeah, I think it's a big thing for the fans, and it's a bigger thing always for the fans. And for a person like Kohli, he's so much into this zone of team and team first and everything about the team. Although it's gonna be the first Test match where he's not the official captain, I think that's the bigger thing for me to look at tomorrow. That Kohli a white ball, we were aware, white ball he took over when 2017, and by 2021 is done. All around four, I don't think even four properly, four odd years. Uh, but test matches, he started in 2014, and now we're in 2022, more than 8 years, and seeing him as captain, I think it was a vibe in itself. Virat Kohli, the test captain, was a vibe. He made watching Indian bowling fun, which was pretty boring for most people who have seen cricket, particularly from 2011 till 14. How boring it was to see India bowl both home and away, because at home we would have more or less rank turners, uh, and away we would absolutely not compete. And just the bowlers would come and keep bowling for 2 days, and things were very glim. But things changed when Virat Kohli took it. And it was absolute a delight to watch. Indian team coming to bowl first, or whenever they had a bowling innings, which is the case of India's batting. In the 2000s, where there was the Fab Five, and everyone wanted to watch them bat. And when there was time for bowling, everyone went and did their own chores. So this was the bigger thing for me. This is a bigger thing for me. But I think for Kohli, he would definitely love to score some runs. Uh, I mean, I don't think his target would be 100, but depending on whatever the conditions are, he would like to contribute in the best way possible. He would like to be a chief contributor rather than just one of them who scores a 50 and goes away. Uh, since he's been about the team, he would definitely want to make a meaningful contribution. And
And
I
even
think
if Kohli is not looking for 100, I'm sure all Indian fans are after that 71st number. जैसे लोग पीछे पड़े हुए हैं. And
Kohli is
today
the
I was seeing
71st
कि
person to play the 100th test.
correct. And his last 100 came 70 innings ago. So this is also going to be his 71st innings since his last 100 came. So मतलब this is
I
another
think the
71
this is
fact.
the same thing with Sachin. He was stuck on 99, and people were
Yeah.
just talking about the 100th, 100th. And I think it was a lot of pressure, and he himself claimed that initially he was not bothered about it, but after the World Cup, when he scored two more hundreds, and then it started to really bother him. And
And it will, yeah. You see, like even if you shut the media, you shut the papers, shut the social media, that is the only
it's
talk that's
actually not
happening all
possible
around.
to it's not possible to shut it completely.
Yeah.
It's never possible. So that is what is so limited. No use sometimes is equal to limited use. So That's the scenario. So
And for
when you say
someone
no, he
someone
was
like as
putting his
big as
limit.
Virat, and someone as big as Virat, he's married to a movie star, and they're a personality, they're a family in India now. Essentially, they're a family that everyone talks about, everyone knows. So someone like him, I think it's obviously very tough to, like you said, shut down. You can't really just zoom out of the whole thing. You're available. It's right there in front of you. So yeah, I think certainly pressure to बहुत होगा विराट के ऊपर. And but we know how good he is when he's under pressure. I feel that's one of the biggest things that he has shown to the world. And like Vishesh, you were saying कि टेस्ट मैचेस को देखना इंटरेस्टिंग बना दिया विराट ने. To have this bowling lineup where I'm happy to see those bowlers, even if it's middle overs. Test matches पहले कोई middle over नहीं दिखता था. I feel we have the young blood, and everyone, the fast bowlers coming in, bowling bouncers, bowling, putting their heart out even in the middle overs of the test match. So I think he made test match watch fun again. We said it about Dhoni, how India became so good at test matches, but I think that vibe, or that thing to reinvent test matches for at least our generation, I think that probably is done by Virat to a
And
big
Kohli
extent.
is standing at second slip, entertaining the fans, keeping the bowlers pumped up, always in the batter's face. I think that is a treat. Just to let our viewers
That was
know,
a pain for me. Honestly, have never liked Virat Kohli in the slips. I'm really happy when he's in the cover. So there are two advantages. One, that he is more around the bowler because he's in the covers or somewhere there. And secondly, he's in the face of the batsman. The batter can see him and then he's like, shit.
पर अगर स्लिप पे भी खड़ा है ना, ही कीप्स कमिंग इन फ्रंट, मतलब वो हर बॉल पे आता ही रहता है. स्टम्प माइक हैज मेड सच अ ह्यूज एडवांटेज कि आपको सब सुनाई दे रहा है क्या हो रहा है आजकल.
Yeah.
Plus, just to let our viewers know, finally the crowd is allowed. And earlier क्या होना था कि श्रीलंका वर्सेस इंडिया का टेस्ट मैच पहले शेड्यूल होना था, T20s बाद में होने थे. द श्रीलंका टेस्ट टीम एंड द क्रिकेट टीम रिक्वेस्टेड दैट पहले T20s कर लेते हैं फिर टेस्ट कर लेते हैं. So Virat's 100th test, which was initially supposed to happen in Bangalore, got rescheduled to Mohali. There was no crowd allowed क्योंकि पंजाब में elections आने हैं. Result is out on 10th March. So there's a model code of conduct. Lot of police is with the election commission and not with the state per se. तो इसलिए पहले क्राउड मैनेजमेंट का इशू आ रहा था. दे इवेंट विद नो क्राउड क्योंकि वोटिंग हो गई है पर फाइनल रिजल्ट नहीं आया है. बट गुड, फाइनली BCCI has allowed 50% crowd. It'll be a huge, mega blast. There are a few Indians who have actually played their 100 tests. And just to let a few names, किसी ने भी आज तक अपने 100 टेस्ट मैच में 100 नहीं मारी है. पर अभी भी बहुत लोग हैं जिन्होंने अपने 100 टेस्ट में स्कोर किया था. जैसे लक्ष्मण ने, मैंने आज ही पढ़ा, 64 मारे. कपिल देव ने 55 मारे. सचिन ने 50 मारी. राहुल ने 50 मारी. And hoping that we get to see a Virat Kohli special. Another question I'd like to ask you, Adhiraj, India is finally without its two middle order experienced batters. मतलब बहुत बात हो गई है कि पुजारा कब जा रहे हैं, रिहाने कब जा रहे हैं. That day has finally come. And you have only three options जो इन दो लोगों की जगह ले सकता है. You have Hanuma Vihari, you have Shubman Gill, and you have Shreyas Iyer, who has absolutely decimated the T20 series. इन तीन में से कौन से दो आप लेंगे? And Vishesh, I'll ask you the same question after Dheeraj.
Yeah, but I think with, like you said, it's a big change for the Indian Test squad. Certainly, I mean, we have seen so much. So we say about Virat and him being there, captaining for the last 8 years. But we have also seen the likes of Pujara and Rahane being there for that amount of period of time, and they have been the middle order. I mean, that's the stability that these two brought to that Indian lineup. And it was always that if everything goes wrong, we'll still have a Pujara to bat out those innings. So yeah, I think a big gap remains in that test squad. And like you mentioned, I think the three most probably the three people who would be replacing these guys, either of Iyer or Hanuma Vihari or Shubham Gill. Personally, I would prefer Shreyas Iyer, certainly on the back of the form that he has shown. He's just been inching to get into the squad and make those runs. And I would really want to give Hanuma Vihari the chance on the back of what he's done every time he's been given the opportunity. There's a lot of talent in the Indian side, and I don't say that Shubham Gill does not deserve a place. It's just that we have seen the most of Shubman Gill as an opener, and he's done decently well given the opportunities. I would prefer, and I'm sure that the BCCI might want to, or the team might be looking to, get Shubman Gill to bat down the order since we have the opener spot settled in. But personally,
So
I
will
would
you have
prefer,
Iyer at 3 and Vihari at 5?
yeah, either way, I think it depends how confident Iyer is to bat at 3. I think he's more he's happier to bat at 5 probably, and so is Hanuman Vihari. So just gonna figure that out who wants to
वैसे
bat at 3 more.
T20s में तो अय्यर ने कहा है कि वो नंबर 3 पे बैट करेंगे एंड आई थिंक बिहारी इज अ मिडिल ऑर्डर सो मुझे लगता है
But
आपकी
I
चॉइस
but
में
I think the test matches it's a little different from the T20 series. I mean, like the game changes completely. You're going to come out to bat with the new red ball, which moves a lot more as compared to T20 match. So yeah, I think it's more on who is more comfortable batting at 3, either of
विशेष
Hanuman Vihari.
what will be your two choices and at what position?
It's very tricky. There are two ways. Like one is what you want, and then one is what
You
you
would get.
think is gonna happen. So first I'll talk about what I think is gonna happen is that I think they will trust Gill at 3. That's what I feel. Because one that it's also his home ground, and he has done well as an opener. And for opening to a good opener can be a good number 3, and we have seen many instances of that happening. Uh, I think opening the only difference is the mindset wherein you walk in with the first ball, and here it doesn't happen. But somehow I feel the team management wants Gill to play middle order because they know they have Mayank and Rahul and even Priyank for that matter. It is very harsh for him to just keep sitting out and keep sitting out and not get a single opportunity. So that's there. So and at 5, the thing I think in India after what Shreyas Iyer did in Kanpur, I think he does deserve another crack at it. But if I ever ask me personally, and if from the long term point of view for the team, I would like to see Vihari at 3 because he is a Pujara like for like, similar, approach, can play a lot of balls, can go deep, and matlab, incalculable amount of resilience that guy has. Uh, because of that. And I think Gill at 5 because eventually he might have to bat at 4. So I think better to bat him at 5 uh, for the long run. I am not very pro Shreyas Iyer in test matches because I feel that he still does not have the game to perform well overseas. Um, in white ball, I absolutely love him and I want him to play every white ball match for India. But I feel that after his injury, he looks a little bit more iffy when it comes to playing the longer innings. And, he's been out in very different and unusual ways, particularly to Shamsi. So I'm not sure how well he will be able to play in a lot of turning balls because he's also not played a first class cricket. So the Ranji matches he's not played. Um,
Absolutely. I personally feel that Iyer misses out as well. I would go ahead with Shubman Gill at number 3. Although I do see him in the future as a middle order batter, but I think for this test series or for the first match, because there are reports that KL Rahul might come in for the second match as well. So for the first test, I would personally go with Shubman Gill at number 3 and Hanuma Vihari at 5. It'll be really, really hard on Vihari to sit him out because he's only playing the red ball match. I know Shreyas Iyer has been in tremendous form, but for red ball, I would still back Vihari at number 5 and Shreyas Iyer misses out. It'll be very unlucky. एक और चीज अधिराज बुमराह is fit. Bumrah said he'll play. He's also the vice captain. There's still talks कि will Rohit actually be the long-term captain or not of the test team as well because there are concerns on his fitness. He's aging. So probably, do you see Pant somewhere down the line and will it be a very easy series win for India?
On the first one, I think the point with Rohit, I think we all know that this is not a long-term solution. Rohit Sharma captaining across formats for India will not be a long-term solution. And specifically, what we've seen is that the Test captaincy is the one that goes away the quickest. Like they would want to start grooming for the Test captaincy much quicker than the white ball, with players playing the white ball format longer than they play the Test format. So I think yes, there is a chance where India moves ahead to another captain, uh, maybe in the form of Bumrah because he's the current vice captain, or also move to Rishabh Pant. What I see happening is probably India moves to Bumrah first as a captain, and someone goes under as the vice captain under him. Uh, as much as trust that the BCCI is showing in Bumrah, making him the vice captain ahead of the likes of other players that are already there. On the second bit, I think what we've seen is uh, uh, I don't know. I mean, with Rohit, I'm sorry. With on the second, can you just repeat that? I completely forgot what you asked on that.
So I mainly asked, the second question was more on कि आगे long term do you see Rishabh Pant and will it be an easy series win? Vishesh, I'll let you answer. कि will India
Yeah,
absolutely decimate Sri Lanka in the series?
I don't think so. They have been much better in the test format. Unless there is some pace and bounce in the wicket, which you can expect in Punjab, then you can expect the Indians to be, overarching favorites. But otherwise, not, because they have two spinners in the form of Embledania and Jai Vikrama, who I feel are absolutely fantastic spinners. And Jai Vikrama is somebody who I rate very, very highly. He has a beautiful action. He puts in a lot of body. He can be a very difficult to play, considering Indians really, really struggled playing Jack Leach. And I think Jai Vikrama is at least twice a bigger threat than Jack Leach. He can really give it the ball a rev, and it just goes through much because of the because he's a very skilled bowler. And uh, and Embledania has even in a simple left arm spinner, he has a lot of variety, especially when it comes to using the crease and using the flight. So I think it's not going to be an easy series. And with it coming back to you and your point of having Vihari at five, I think Vihari does not make the cut at five, particularly in India. And I'll tell you why. Because um,
No, this is
Virat.
what I feel will happen, not what I want to happen. मुझे लग रहा है ये
अच्छा.
होने वाला है.
Yeah,
As
because
you
I
said, there
think
are
the
two
reason
things.
mainly this, because at five the team would actually like to want a player who can really take the game forward, because and because Virat is not in the greatest of form. And if wickets fall, you want, if somebody gets in like Vihari, if he gets in, he'll just bat and bat and bat. He won't get you the runs like Shreyas does or a Gill does. Once they
But you
get in,
have
they
Pant,
score.
you have Jadeja for that. Matlab, I would beg to differ because you have two players who can actually hit, and Vihari also in one match when he replaced Kohli, when Kohli was not fit, he did score with the tail. But let's see what finally happens, who finally makes it to the squad. On that note, thank you Vishesh, thank you Adhiraj. It's Virat Kohli's 100 Test match. That is surely going to be the highlight, no matter what the result is. I am assuming that India will actually have a very easy win, and it'll be a very memorable match for Virat Kohli. We had done a poll on our channel as well कि विराट कोहली कितना ब्रैकेट में रन मारेंगे, will it be 0 to 30, 30 to 60, 60 to 90 or 100 plus. So I know it's only fan behavior, but more than 70% people voted on 100 plus. मुझे नहीं लगता वो होने वाला है, but still assuming he at least gets a 50 plus score. And on that note, thank you for tuning in, thank you for watching. Do subscribe to Sports Taza. Thank you so much.